These are all graduates of the school.
My name is Tara Fukuhara, and I'm actually currently a student here. I'm in my externship, so I have like a couple weeks left, hopefully, if I get my act together, and I will be graduating in March. I came also from a technology marketing background. Although I might look like I'm 22, I'm almost 30, and I had this like epiphany coming home on a plane one night from a business trip where I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, I do not want to be traveling and like going and doing all these conferences and blah, blah, blah. Like, I've always wanted to work culinary school, so I did. I found out through a friend's parents that the school existed, and I came and checked it out. And it was just like the best thing ever. I walked in and the energy was great, and I think I met Boki in the hallway, and it was just so great. And, I remember afterwards, like, being really emotional and being like, this is what I'm looking for. So I ended up coming to school here, and it was just the most amazing experience. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting here on this panel. It really was life-changing for me. Like, I needed a challenge in my life. Sitting in a cube isn't a challenge, maybe for some people. It was a challenge for me not to like sleep all the time, but here I needed a challenge in my life. I needed to see if cooking was really one of my passions. If I'm going to throw the money down to learn how to cook, I need to make sure that it's something that I really love. And I came here, and T1 was really interesting for me. I was peeling so many potatoes, and I'm making so many freaking knife cuts. Like, when am I going to start to cook? Yeah, and then you start cooking, and you start cooking, and you get to T2, and you get to work with proteins you never worked with before, and you get to T3, and you're making beautiful plates, and you're working in the restaurant, and you're just like, this is amazing. It's so, so great. And just like you were saying, if you're coming to the school, go into it with kind of know what you want from it. Like, don't just go with the flow, come in early, like, learn how to make the best freaking curry ever. Like, this is such a great opportunity for you guys to just be the best at something that you really love to do, right? So, currently I work at Culinary, and this is my first Saturday off since July. I'm a brunch cook there. I'm actually a brunch saute cook at BQ. You'll get the battle wounds of the like. You'll get those. People will be like, oh, I'm a cook. So, cooking is no joke, and that's something you need to know too. Is cooking is no joke if you're working in a really great restaurant, and it will kick your butt. And this school will get you ready for that. You'll realize when you're working the hotline back here, and people are, this full house. Cooking is no joke, and it's a great thing.
Hi, my name is Robert Lindner, and everyone's story, the great thing about being last is that everyone's pretty much told my story in one piece or another. I graduated in 2010 with culinary management from OCI, and I have to say it was one of the best experiences of my life, so I'm pretty much a broken record here. Prior to that, I was and am in the wine industry. I currently work at a winery outside of Newburgh called Henry Ash Wine Cellars, and I'm the direct sales manager there. And what I've learned here has really enhanced my knowledge and experience in the wine world. Prior to that, I'm from California, and I was working at a small winery in Napa. And I left that position and was sort of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life when I grew up. So I came up to visit my sister, who lived out in Hillsborough, and while I was here, I had heard that Portland was a really good food scene, and that there were a number of cooking schools that really were making a name for themselves. So I had some time, and I thought I'd check them out. And I visited that school, and I'd heard about OCI, so I thought I'd check out OCI as well. And I found it, and I thought this was a really smart school. And that was to its benefit, because I took the tour, and it was these small classes, very intense classes, and I saw a lot of teacher-student interaction. You just weren't put in front of your cutting board and said, okay, this is what we're doing today. There was a lot of interest in what you were doing, and I thought at that point, no, this is what I want to do. So I signed up and sort of decided to take a vacation from my career and go to cooking school, and it was amazing. As Amy said, when you come in here you have some preconceived notions about what you can do in the kitchen, what you think your abilities are. And when you walk into T1, this is my personal experience. It's a pressure cooker. You're in unfamiliar territory, you don't know where anything is, and all of a sudden you have a time limit to boil a potato. And I sat there, I had this potato in my hand. How do I boil a potato? It came to me, finally. But it was that thing where you're starting from scratch. And OCI, step by step, gave me all the tools. T1 is just breaking you down and start giving you the fundamentals. T2 is taking those fundamentals and being a bit more creative and understanding what your skills are. T3 is taking all that and sort of creating something. You know, you're behind that, on that line, and you're freaking out because I don't want to be on the saute line. What do you mean? Piece of pasta for this salad? How many freaking things do I have to make just to make a salad? But at the end of it all, you're like, wow, that was very gratifying. It's a life experience. I was able to extern at Triple Creek Ranch in Montana, which is one of the top, it's #2 resort in the world for small boutique resorts. And I was able to work with the executive chef as well as work with the front of the house wine director. I was there for 2 months, and Montana is beautiful, and it was a breathtaking place. So I came back and I graduated with a culinary management degree, and part of that is you go through, aside from the kitchen, you go through a marketing program, a wine program, and you really become involved in how to, because ostensibly you're in this program because you want to run your business. You want to understand the nuts and bolts, besides the joy of cooking, how to make your business successful. So it was fantastic learning how to do a business plan, learn how to do all the things that you need to do to make this business successful in reality. The wine program was great. I mean, albeit I came in with a bit of a head start, but it touches all the aspects of the wine world, and really it's a great experience. So this day I'm the direct sales manager at Penrash Wine Cellars. They're a boutique Pinot house, and they're located outside of Newburgh. And I invite all of you who are drinking age to come up and visit. It's, to this day, what I've learned here has really just enhanced what I have to offer in my career. So I encourage you all to join. Thanks.
Thank you. OCI, I had a 1-year-old. I get you. And I already kind of spoke to, I had a whole different life, a whole different career. You go to OCI or you go to culinary school because it is who you are. Because there's something inside you that says, there's food and I need to feed people. I want to make it beautiful, I want to make it tasty. I think a lot of that has to do with being a mom. Like it changed how I fed my son.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it changed my views of what food could be. And like I said, you have to have that thing inside yourself to say, yes, you can do it, you can move past it. Going to school is not a forever decision. It's something that will affect you forever, but ultimately it goes by like lightning. And during school, I had to work. I went to school, I did my homework, got all A's, well, mostly A's, and I took care of my son. And at the end of the day, all of us are better for it. So you can do it. You can make it all work. And if there's ever a time you don't think you can manage all the things together, take my card, call me. I can promise you, it'll happen.
You learn that you can do more than you think you can do.
Definitely.
Everybody goes to that point where you're just like working like days and days in a row, and you just feel like you're at your limit, and there's no way you can go to school today. And then you think about all the days that you did go to school and how much you learned and what you might miss if you don't go. And you make yourself get up and you make yourself go. And I've never had a day where I was like, gee, I should have just stayed home today. You're like, oh, thank God I came.
Thank God I came.
I did not want to miss that, you know. And
I realize it's $120
You might as well show up.
And every time you do that, you prove to yourself that you're like, wow, I can do more than I thought I could. And it gets easier. You can get to a point where you're like, I can do this. You know, I haven't slept in 3 days, but I'm gonna do it. And you do.
It's such a short program. At least for me, I did the diploma program. So it's such a short amount of time that like it took me 10 years to be like, I'm gonna go to culinary school, and you know, I had built this resume up, so I was like, you know, if this doesn't work out, I'll go back into marketing. Your life's too short, and you just do it.
Yeah.
And you just
I
do it,
felt
and then
three
you're like, oh
programs
my god,
and
this was
too
too
short.
short.
That was so.
It is scary. But it's it'll be the best thing
Worth
ever.
it.
If there's anything to be scared about, let it be that. But not if it's your dream, not if it's your passion, not if it's something you can build on this. This is something you can build, and there's so many avenues and so many, I mean, just people that you meet and connections that you have, and I mean, you can take it anywhere. It's something, it's a skill set you can take anywhere and benefits your family as well.
And my fear would be letting another 10 years go by and realizing, damn, another 10 years went, another 10 years went by, and I didn't go to culinary school, and knowing that in 40 and 50 and 60, I really wish I would have done it. Because there are students here of all ages.
All ages.
And we had people who were of retirement age who came to class every day, and because they realized then that was their dream. So,
Yeah. Right out of high school, I mean, all ages, all walks of life, so make sure you meet here at OCI for sure.
chefs here aren't just temporary teachers. These are people that still know our names, that still call on us to say, you know, hey, I've got this event, do you guys want to come down? Or I still call, you know, Chef Max from Hawaii, because she used to own her own catering company. And I've come and had lunch with her a couple times since I've graduated and said, you know, let me pick your brain. And they do with such an open heart, it makes me emotional because they genuinely care about you. I couldn't see getting that kind of experience anywhere else.
And there's no reason for them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, if this was just about money, like, whenever I come to visit, Chef Wilkie always takes time out of whatever he's doing to say hello, ask how I'm doing, what I'm doing in my life. Like, he doesn't have to do that. He does that because he genuinely cares about all of the students who come through here before and after they graduate. And that's one of the main huge differences. I feel like everybody who goes through this feels, you know, it's like you genuinely, it sounds cliche, but you genuinely become a part of this family, and they always remember you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.